Yes, a daily operation right there. That's J-Bru. And we got him on the phone right now. What's good, J-Bru?
Just chilling, man. Having a little barbecue here in Halifax.
Nice.
Yeah, what's happening?
The barbecue. What are you cooking?
Some chicken breasts, burgers, hot dogs, the whole shebang.
Bam. I like it. Barbecue. It's a nice day for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Got the beer on deck, too.
Yes. Must have. Word up. So, yeah, East Coast living, that's the way it is, you know what I mean? When I was out there before, it was a lot like, chill atmosphere, everybody, barbecues and, parties and stuff, and just like, but I guess, I don't know what it is about living near a big ocean, but it seems to make everybody, like, super chill.
Yeah, I think so, man. Scotians are a different breed. we like to sip on our beer and just be around good people, man,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the vibe and the energy every time I've come out there. It's always been a good time. And you born and raised out there, right?
Yeah, man. Born and raised
Halifax City.
Well, we're going to bring these vibes up there soon.
Yes. You're heading out here on July 11th. You'll be here in Guelph. And I know I was hearing something. You got like an Ottawa date as well and something else around here?
Yeah, we got an Ottawa on the 10th, and then jumping off another show on the 12th. I think it's between Toronto and London, maybe. We're just seeing what's popping there. So, yeah, man, it's coming up to Ontario. It's been a while, so, it's going to be a good time.
Definitely, yeah. Ontario's got a good music scene. Ottawa's popping. Guelph will definitely have a good crowd out for you that night. I'm looking forward to getting you here. We've had this in a long time in the making. Talking back and forth. I remember hitting you up years and years ago, and when I was like first rapping, and you were kind enough to be like, yeah, man, I'll get on a song with you even when I sucked. And
almost building, man.
Yeah. And now it's kind of, now I feel like the time is right to be able to work with you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Got to keep.
Make a studio up when we get up there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, the studio is like 2-minute walk from the venue, so, or like a 1-minute walk. It's like literally you could throw a stone at it. So.
Nice one.
Yeah, no, we're nice and close down here in Guelph. Looking forward to working with you in the studio. But I want to get talking a little bit just about your story. You've been in the rap game for a minute. Rapping and touring across Canada many times, and you've got your own record label now that you've started up, Blueprint, and starting to get some rappers from the East Coast on there and putting them on and stuff and giving them a platform. Just take me back though from the beginning, like what was it like when you first started rapping out there on the East Coast? What kind of got you into it, and how did hip hop become a part of J-Bru's life?
Well, just from a music standpoint, it was a big part. Since I was a kid, my mom was actually a big hip hop fan. So even as a little kid, I was always into hip hop. But me and my brother, I think I was around like 12, 13, like junior high age, and we'd make little mixtapes where we'd just take other people's songs and kind of loop one little spot of the beat and we'd rap over it.
Okay.
So I was doing that like when I was 12, 13. We were selling these little their actual cassette tapes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Selling those for like $5 at school. Then fast forward to, I went to university up in Ottawa, and I started DJing a little bit. And I was doing the same thing, just making mixtapes and rapping on it, and kind of felt that I had the vibe for it, you know what I mean? People were feeling what I was saying and stuff like that. So went up there for a couple of years, and when I moved back to Halifax, I met up with Class, and, somebody told me if you want to record some music, go see him. So I went to see him, and kind of the rest is history, man. I toured with him for about 13 years. We're still good buddies. Basically, I was starting my label. I wanted to get that popping off, and I felt like there was only so much I could do as a solo artist, being on tour with those guys. And, it was fun doing this hype man thing, but I really wanted to kind of get the feeling of being a solo artist.
Yeah, for sure.
So I jumped off touring with those guys probably about 3 years ago. And, it's been ups and downs, but it's been good, man. I got the label going. I got a a couple of young artists on there that I really think are going to pop in Canada anyway.
What are their names, if you put them on?
I got Cavi.
Yeah.
He's a recent signing. He actually just came down to stay with me for about 4 days and recorded about 9 songs for his new project. And then the other one I don't have fully in the works, so I don't want to say, but a lot of people are going to be happy. It's a Halifax. Let's say it's a Halifax great, but it's a young enough guy that I don't want to spoil the surprise yet.
Okay, don't do it. The announcement will get out there. What's the best place that people can get that info if they want to see, like, how do they keep up to date with what's going on with Blueprint, the label, and stuff like that?
You can check. I got a Facebook page, facebook.com/Blueprint Music. Even my J-Bru page, I'm always showing up my young guys on there. And then my email, blueprintmusic@gmail.com. Basically, if anyone wants to submit, want me to check the music or what have you, producers want me to check the beats, that's a good place to get in touch with me.
That's dope, man, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll probably send you some projects. I'd be like, yo, what do you think? What do you think on this stuff? Because you got that ear now. You've been doing this for a long time. What was it kind of like early on when you were making songs, when you first linked up with Class in the studio and you guys were just banging out records? What was that like the first energy when, because things have kind of progressed from that point for you guys both and getting, known all across Canada. What was that like just at the beginning when you guys were first making songs? Like, what was that energy like?
It was cool, man. Like, see, I'm more like, I'm a laid back guy, but if you see my stage show, I'm the exact opposite. I'm kind of like Chris Rock says the same thing. He almost has like a personality disorder, and I seen him on Oprah one time. And he was like, if you see me on the street, I won't look you in the face. I won't talk to you. I wouldn't go that far for me. Like, I'm a friendly guy, but I'm just not hyper. Mm-hmm. When I get on stage, I'm crazy as hell. So it's sort of what I bring to the booth too. So the first probably like album or two I did with Class, it was just it was wild, man. Like the energy in the room, and it was just, sometimes I think about the old days, and it's fun to think back. Both of us weren't the most experienced, but we both had the energy, and we had kind of a chemistry that, I haven't really found with another producer / MC since. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find that connection and to click with somebody and make music that feels right. Yeah.
And I've recorded with, hundreds of other engineers and stuff like that. Sometimes people just know what you want to say. They know what you want to do. Mm-hmm. He had no problem being my friend and being like, yo, that line you just spit, I don't know if you should say that. Try it this way, or, stuff like that. Or he had no qualms to tell me if a line was whack sometimes, Mm-hmm. So it actually helped me with my pen game too.
Definitely.
Having a friend that was so talented that you're around every day just helped it up your own game,
Yeah, and somebody who's honest, right? Because you don't want yes men in your corner.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of, fast forward me to today. Kind of the moniker of King of Halifax has been thrust upon me at the moment. But I don't mind, man. I feel like I deserve it, and I worked hard to get where I am. So, I want to bring a little bit of my royal swag, I guess you want to say, to Guelph and to Ottawa and the other cities too.
Yes. So we'll talk about that a little bit, because I see the artwork and stuff for the next the album that you just released, Sovereign, and it's a hand holding up a crown.
Yeah.
And the crown's got it looks like antlers, or like some sort of just like almost like a thorny crown. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
it's like a polished Jesus crown. You know what I mean? Like, what was kind of the inspiration behind that?
Well, the you'll see there's looks like little men in there. The shadows of men are silhouettes too.
Okay, yeah. In the actual, like at the top part, like a war's going on.
Yeah, so basically, the jagged edges of the crown would be more or less me saying, I'm ready to kind of get thrust into the fire. What comes with saying you're the king of some place, you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, T.I. and Ludacris went through the King of the South thing and battled over that. I'm not trying to battle anybody here, but I've also had nobody have qualms with me saying it either. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then the little men inside the crown is more or less not that I would stomp on somebody to get to where I am, but it's more or less people that kind of have, you know, looked down upon me or thought of me in a negative way over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of, it's like almost like the haters I've collected. It's cliche to say haters in this era, I guess, hip hop, but it is true, man. There's still lots of them around. So. Oh
yeah, they're the motivation a lot of times to really make us do stuff. But at the same time, it's really frustrating when you're just trying to, you know, follow your passion and be creative and speak your mind and you know, be true to who you are. And there's people out there that are just dissing and just like hating on you for their own personal insecurities and the fact that they're afraid to follow their own dreams and they see you doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, you know, the prime example right now, and I've seen it probably 300 times in the last 2 months, is there's a meme one that's always on Facebook or Instagram, and it's like, you know, something about feel bad about your life, at least you're not somebody local still trying to become a rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not exactly how it's worded, but I see it all the time, and I just kind of giggle. I know if I see people that I knew putting up, I know they're not talking about me, but at the same time, you can't knock that kid that's trying to do what he's going to do, you know?
Yeah, because you never know who could be the next person to blow up and to take off. And regardless, like, as long as you're able to make a living and feed your family and, you know, tour a bit and get your gravy, like, you're good in this game. You know what I mean? I think it's hard to do in Canada, but, you know, we help out. We get a lot of help. I mean, from the government and some other ways that we can make money through our music. And I feel like if you're like, there's certain levels of success, and people can hate on rappers that are making a living doing what they love. You know what I mean? And it blows my mind. It's like, yo, you're still working at this, or you're still doing that, and you're not really following what your true passion is. Like, I made a post the other night. I'm inspired by people that are able to turn what they're passionate about into making a living off of it, and something that they can do every day, because that way you won't ever have to work another day in your life, because you're able to do stuff that you love, right? And it's hard to get there.
The worst part about that too is kind of pegging that as a hip hop thing, you know, like for someone like me, I did live off the music for a while. I do have a job now, because that's what I chose to do. I could live off it again, but I got things I had to take care of in my life, so I got a job. But the thing is, nobody knocks a rock and roll band where they all work in the day, but they all go play some club every Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Are those guys playing the show? Is that whack to rock fans? Probably not. You know, it's a hip hop thing because of the bravado of it, and everyone wants to be that big guy and the guy with the money and the cars. The
baller, you know what I mean? It's not.
You know, my thing is that I've always had kind of I don't even know the word to describe, but I got the confidence enough that I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? For people that really know my music, you know, I talk about some darker stuff and I talk about whatever, but everything I talk about is real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You'll never hear me talk about cars and money if I don't have that cars and money. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it is what it is. But yeah, the haters are still there.
They're still there. It's all good.
They're just more quiet here in Halifax now that I'm the king of Halifax, I guess.
Now that you've done something and made a name for yourself, definitely.
Yeah, you know, and I don't word it. I don't try. And you know, I might say it in a song here and there, but I'm not. I said it before. I'm not saying I'm the king to say that I'm necessarily better than this guy, better than that guy. It's sometimes it's just how you carry yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel confident that there's not many people from here, with the exception of class maybe, that can go elsewhere, whether it be Europe or Australia or whatever, and represent Halifax better than I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't see anybody else from that area really able to hold that for sure. You know,
then there's some young guys I like a lot, and I think, you know, they're ready to snatch the crown when time may come. But for now, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, no, you're holding it down. Holding it down out there in Halifax, for sure. No, I'm looking forward to getting a chance to see your performance out here in Guelph. You've been rocking the mic steady for a long time, and you know that polishing of the steel, the polishing of the blade, after so many years of rocking a mic, it's, makes you a better performer. What do you think, like, your performance is like now that you've got a chance to, focus on your solo career for the last 3 years and come up with some new songs and material and stuff that you can perform on your own? What's that transition been like, and how do you feel as far as your stage performance goes now?
You know what? I feel like my kind of era that I was touring with Class, I was always opening for his crowds. I was always doing his crowds. And even though we come from the same camp and we're boys, like, we really don't have the same fan base necessarily. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now I kind of had to almost start from the ground up again. I was almost spoiled to doing his 1,000 people, doing his 500, doing his 2,000 every night. And then when I come back home and I go on the road by myself, it might be 100, it might be 200.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be 40, 50. But they're my crowd, you know what I mean? So they're almost hinging on every word I'm saying, where when I noticed when I was doing Classes tours, it's more or less, there's just a hype guy on stage jumping around like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm still the hyper crazy guy that's going to jump off and stage dive and stuff, but I'm also, I care more about the people. You know what I mean? Like, I never used to look in people's faces. I look overhead. Now I look at people's eyes, and I want them to know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I take pride in the fact that I can walk off stage, and even if only one person's like, yo, that line you said or that song you did, it touched me, or, it was killing, it was crazy, then I walk away from that show with that pride of that, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, no, I like. I've always liked your stuff, and I haven't got a chance to come out to any Class show when he was around before, so I never got a chance to see you perform.
Yeah.
Like, literally, all my friends were at a Class show that you were at down the street when I got locked up, and I was
no way.
Yeah, and it was like, just down the street, like, and you guys were all performing, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, I don't want to be back here again. I want to make sure next time these guys are coming through, I'm not here.
That's what's up, man. We'll rock it on the 11th anyway.
Definitely. No, it's going to be hype.
Yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of old stuff, some new stuff, some other people's stuff, mixtape tracks, whatever. I got a whole barrage of stuff I can do, so.
Bomb. Looking forward to hearing it. I definitely want to hear Moving On Up.
Oh yeah. I'll be doing the classics for sure.
The classics. I need the classics. And that Daily Operation joint, I've been bumping that one on the radio here quite a lot.
Nice. Respect, yeah.
No doubt.
I'll be doing that one too.
No doubt. So your music's out there. Best place for people to get it is on iTunes?
iTunes. I send people to my Bandcamp a lot.
Yeah.
J-Bru.bandcamp.com. YouTube. You can check it on anywhere, really. Twitter, Instagram. Just search J-Bru Music.
J-Bru Music. J-B-R-U, y'all. J-Bru Music. That's what's up, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me a little bit about the history of your music. Looking forward to hearing the new projects, and definitely connecting with you when you get out here to Guelph, man.
For sure, man. Look forward to seeing you guys and performing with you guys, man.
Word up. Guelph, July 11th, J-Bru live at District. Come out and check it out, man.